So good morning everyone, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching Drishti IAS. In this live session, we will be discussing Indian Express of the day and as well as yesterday's. So we will be discussing important articles which can be, you can say, from your exams point of view, that will be relevant. Okay, so let's start with the discussion over here. We will be starting with the practice question and then we will be moving to the fact of the day. We will be talking about the good governance day, okay, 25th of December. So we will be talking about that, and after that geography through maps. We will be talking about this section over here. Herein we will be discussing the shivaliks today, okay. We will be discussing some of the facts with respect to Shivalik, and then we will be also looking at the maps with respect to this, okay. Then moving further, we will be talking about the key important articles over here, that is the key questions of law and society. Here we will be discussing some of the Supreme Court's observation, and we will also see what are the cases which Supreme Court will be hearing in the coming days, because as the year is ending, we will be having a look at the past year as well as the, you can say, upcoming days, okay. Moving further, protecting right to privacy. Now, in yesterday's newspaper, Supreme Court has reiterated right to privacy. So we will be talking about that. We will also see what was the original judgment wherein Supreme Court has given this right to privacy. Okay. Then coming to the next one, Pakistan's strike in Afghanistan. So there was this one air strike which has been conducted by Pakistan in Afghanistan. Taliban has said that Pakistan has actually concluded this strike. On the other hand, Pakistan has said that there are various counter-terrorism activities which are going on, but they did not confirm this particular strike. Okay, so but we will be talking about this. We will be seeing that in which area that strike was and what is the nature of relations which is there between Pakistan and Afghanistan, or you can say Pakistan government and the Taliban. Okay, so these will be the relevant point for our discussion. For your own read, there will be two articles, okay, and in the end there will be a practice question. If you look at the front page of the newspaper, you will be finding that Delhi government disowns AAP's new scheme, Kejriwal targets BJP. Now this is a political news, we will not go into this. Okay, coming to this one, need to counter the Congress on Ambedkar. This is again a political news, we will not go into this. At River Link project site, PM hails Ambedkar's role in waterworks slams Congress. Okay, so here we will be focusing on the Ken Betwa River Link project. Okay. Then coming to this article over here, as rupees hit new low, real effective exchange rate soars to an all-time high. Now we have talked about this particular aspect, various times, that why rupee is going low and why dollar is strengthening. So we will be, skipping this particular article as of now, because we have already discussed, important aspects over here. One thing, they are talking about the real exchange rate. Okay, so that is REER. So you can go and think about this, because this is this can be your homework, that is real effective exchange rate. Okay, so you can go and look into this. If you already know, then you can tell me in the comment box what is REER. There is two concepts. One is REER, then second is NEER, that is normal effective exchange rate and real effective exchange rate. Now here you will be seeing that there is some kind of adjustment with respect to the prices is there, so you can go through this particular concept. Okay, this is the static portion anyway. Now let's move further and see the practice question. The National Human Rights Commission submits its annual report to, okay, Prime Minister of India, the President of India, Parliament of India, or the Supreme Court of India. Now we have actually discussed the human rights with respect to the Human Rights Commissions. Okay, so I think you must be knowing this answer over here. Hold on a second, there is some, hold on. Okay, I hope voice is clear. Okay, fine. So again, NHRC submits its report to, okay, so if we are talking about the National Human Rights Commission, it will be submitting the report to the President, and President, if required, then they can be placing in front of the Parliament. Okay, so option B would be your right answer over here. Now when we are talking about the National Human Rights Commission, so you can tell me that to whom the State Human Rights Commission will be submitting their report to. Okay, so that is about this question which we have already discussed. Now we can move further. Before that, I would like to tell you that we are offering ISGS Foundation course at our new center, that is Noida. Okay, Noida Sector 50. We are starting a batch of English medium from 9th of January 2025 at 6 p.m. and for Hindi medium, that is 16th of January 2025 11:30 a.m. Okay, and here you can see there are other courses. At Prayagraj we are offering offering English medium course on 2nd of Jan 2025 at 5:30 p.m. and at Jaipur Center will be offering English medium course at 16th of January 2025 at 8 p.m. Okay. Now if you have any kind of query related to that, you can call on this number, that is 87501 87501, or you can directly visit the center and get enrolled. Okay. Now moving further, I would like to tell you about the recap series. I have already told you if you are new over here. So there is this series recap 2024 which we have started with respect to the revision of all the important you can say landmark things or the developments which has happened which are relevant for UPSC exams preparation. So we will be coming up with the quick concise revision series. It started from 21st of December and it will go till 29th of December. Okay. So if you have not already watched this video, so you can go and click on this particular playlist which is there on the Drishti IAS English YouTube channel, recap 2024. You will be getting the videos over here. Okay. So we have come up with the government schemes, major submit, science and tech, major judgment. We have talked about the indices and reports. Okay. So you can actually watch these videos to enhance your preparation. Now let's move further. Good Governance Day, that is the fact of the day. 25th of December is celebrated as the Good Governance Day to raise awareness among the citizens about the government accountability and the effective administration. Okay. Now the theme for 2024 is India's path to Viksit Bharat. Okay. Everywhere we are talking about the Viksit Bharat by 2047. Okay. So considering that, they have come up with the theme that is India's path to Viksit Bharat, empowering citizens through good governance and digitization. Okay. With this, you will be knowing that what government is trying to do, what is government planning over here. So one is good governance and second is digitization, digital India, etc. These are some of the you can say efforts which has been done by the government. When we talk about the digital public infrastructure, that has also been strengthened by the current government. Okay. So that is there. It was started in year 2014 to honor the birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Okay. So please remember this name, our former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and from 2014 we started to celebrate this Good Governance Day. Okay, the birth anniversary of Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya is also observed on the 25th December. So these are two important personalities which are quite important for us, and their birth anniversary is same, that is 25th of December on the Good Governance Day. Okay. Now let's move further and see the geography through map. Now we will be talking about the Shivaliks today. We have talked about the Trans Himalayas, then we have talked about the Greater Himalayas, and then Lesser Himalayas. Now we will be coming to the Shivaliks. These are, you can say, young mountains, relatively younger. Okay. So we will be talking about certain facts over here. After that, we will be looking at the some of the important ranges. Okay. So here you can see it is also called as the Himachal. Okay. Coming to the next thing. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so this is some of the facts which was there with respect to the Lesser Himalayas. I guess there was some kind of PPT slides has been not introduced over here. So we will be talking about the Shivaliks. As I told you, Shivaliks are kind of younger than the you can say rest of the Himalayas. Okay, so you will be seeing that they are not very high in the altitude. Okay, other than that, these are important, you can say, peaks over here, that when we are talking about the Jammu region, we have Jammu hills over there, and then Dafla, Miri, Abor, Mishmi hills. Okay, so here you can see in this map. So when we are talking about this particular area over here, this ranges over here. Okay, and this is your Purvanchal hills. Okay, so we will be talking about them separately. Here we are talking about this. Okay, Dafla, Miri, Abor, okay, Mishmi. So these are Dafla, Miri, Abor, Mishmi. So these are part of Shivaliks. Other than that, there are ranges like this which is there in Nepal, that is Churia Ghat hills. And then if you are talking about this over here, so there are this Kathmandu valley, etc., that is there in the foothills of the Shivaliks. Okay, so this is between, you can say, the Gangetic plain which is over here, and then the Lesser Himalayas or the Middle Himalayas. So between them we have this Shivaliks. Now these are fragmented hills which are there, they are low in altitude. So these are about the Shivalik. Other than that, there are other ranges like Churia, we have already discussed, the Dhang range and the Tundwa range, that is there in Uttarakhand. This region we have the, you can say, this Dholia range, Dhang range, these are there in the Uttarakhand region. Okay, so this is about Shivaliks. Other than that, in the next lecture we will be discussing about this area, that is basically your Purvanchal region or Purvanchal Himalayas. Okay, so I'll be covering these facts which I have told you. I'll be giving a write up in the next discussion. Okay, so coming to the next one, first we'll be starting with the key questions of the religion, society and law. Now when we are talking about the previous few years, like if we talk about after 2020 till 2022 and all, we have seen that there was some kind of judicial evasion. Okay, judiciary has take a step back, and most of the time you will be seeing that the decisions are kind of government friendly. Okay, this is not to say that judiciary has not performed their you can say function. Okay, but the thing is, the argument which has been put forward by the you can say center were given preferences because obviously they had the weightage in them. Okay, they had the substance. Now few of the critics says that this is judicial evasion. Okay, but that should not be the case, because this is the institution, it is a public institution, it is an institution of trust. Okay, and the people who are there, they are learned people. So considering that, critics sometimes say that in the last few years we have seen the judicial evasion, but recently we have seen some of the important judgments which were there, which are quite progressive in nature. Okay, so we'll be talking about that over here. So however, 2024 saw quite a bit significant departure from the apparent trend which was earlier. Okay, so here you can say the Supreme Court gave verdicts and made intervention in several politically significant cases like electoral bond. We have seen that the electoral bond has been actually discontinued, or you can say that they have been given the unconstitutional status. So now we have no such schemes as electoral bond scheme. Okay, so that was one thing. Other than that, they have talked about the Mandir Masjid cases, Places of Worship Act we have seen. So in that case, they have said that until unless we decide on the constitutional status of the places of worship, till then you will not be going for any kind of order. Okay, or the subordinate judiciary or the high courts will not go for any kind of order with respect to the Places of Worship Act. Okay, so that was the second judgment, which was recent even. Okay, then issued guidelines to curb the illegal bulldozer demolitions. They have said that the executive will not go for such demolitions until unless they are illegal. Second thing is, whenever they are illegal, even then also you have to follow the due process of law, you have to follow the procedure which is given over here. Okay, you have to give the notice, then you have to wait for them to reply, you have to go for a proper hearing. All these things should be there. Okay, then coming to the next one, granted bail to the jailed opposition leaders. That is the case of you can say money laundering case which was there against Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Okay, so that was there. Then reigned the enforcement directors vast power to arrest. Now they have put a cap on the arrest related powers of the ED, and reversed the Gujarat government's remission to the convicts of the Bilkis Banu case. When we are talking about the Bilkis Banu case, you know that there were 11 convicts which were there, and they have asked for the remission from the Gujarat government, and Gujarat government has given the remission. Now the issue was in the court that whether Gujarat government was you can say authority to grant such remissions, because the trial was conducted in Maharashtra. Okay, so considering that, they said that the Gujarat government does not have any power to give such remissions, so that is why that particular remission was struck down, and then these 11 convicts were asked to report back to the jail. Okay, so that was the case which has been discussed in the Bilkis Banu, or you can say this with respect to the Bilkis Banu. Now these were some of the important developments of the judgment which were there. Now here you can say there are some pending issues which are there, like Aligarh Muslim University's minority institution status, policy on taxing industrial alcohol, etc. These are some of the pending issues. Other than that, we will be talking about some of the important issues with respect to the Places of Worship Act. Okay, so here, hold on a second. Okay, Places of Worship Act. So there was this constitutional bench in which the 1991 Act, this Act is from 1991, which actually barred the you can say conversion of place of worship or the status of place of worship from one religion to another, and they have said that whatever status is there on 15th of August 1947, okay, so that status will continue. Okay, so you cannot go for changing the status of a place of worship. Okay, now that has been discussed in that particular act. Now that act was challenged on the few grounds. That one thing that takes away the judicial reviews power. Okay, they have said that since you cannot alter the status, that is one thing. Second thing is, you cannot go to the court and register new cases. Okay, so if you are not registering new cases with respect to this particular issue, so they are saying that you are kind of taking away the power of judicial review by the courts. Okay, so that was one thing which was there. One exception which was over here, that was the Ayodhya case. Okay, because litigation was already filed in that particular case, so they have kept it as a you can say exception. So here you can see the constitutional challenge to the 1991 law froze the religious character of all the places of worship except the then disputed Ayodhya matter, as they stood on the dawn of the independence, is pending before the court. Okay, now they have said that the ground to challenge this particular act was takes away the power of the judicial review, prohibiting any fresh claims and arbitrary retrospective picking of the date, that is 15th August 1947. Now, if we are talking about this particular date, that is 15th of August 1947, that is the day of independence. Okay, but the thing is, it does not have a religious significance. Then why is that a religious you can say act which is dealing with the religious characters of the places of worship? So why is that this particular date was chosen? Okay, so there was no rationale behind it, and that is why it has been challenged. Okay, so here in this particular act, the court has said that until unless we decide on this particular matter, because the petition has been filed over here, so any other court will not be going for any kind of order with respect to places of worship act, because recently we have seen that there were various courts which has ordered various kind of surveys, archaeological surveys in the in such places. Okay, so that was one of the thing. Dafla, Miri, Mishmi, part of Shivalik, located in Arunachal Pradesh. Yes, they are part of Shivalik and they are located in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay. Now coming to the next one over here, that is the essential religious practice test. Okay. Now with respect to some of the practices which are there, now question is there whether they are essential or not, and if they are essential, then whether state should go for any kind of interference or not. Okay. So here you can see in 2020, Supreme Court has decided to review 2018's verdict. There in the case of Sabrimala, okay, the practice of excluding women from Sabrimala temple, that was unconstitutional. That has been held unconstitutional in 2018, and Supreme Court has taken a review. Okay, they have said that we will be reviewing this particular judgment and we will be saying that whether it is a essential religious practice or not. Now when we are talking about the essential religious practice, that means that is forming the part of the core practices of that particular religion. Okay, now here you can see to re-evaluate the so-called essential religious practice test, a contentious doctrine evolved by the court to protect only those religious practices that are essential to the religion. Now there is when you are religious text etc., when we are talking about, if that particular practice forms the core principle or that is very essential to that particular religion, then only you can say they will be protecting it, otherwise state can interfere over here. Okay, now the case will also have impacts on various cases with respect to the religious practices. So that is one of the challenge which was there by the two Parsi women who married outside the community to ensure the Tower of Silence, and then you can say to enter the Tower of Silence, that is a religious place with respect to the Parsi community and other religious places. And other than that, you will be seeing that there is this question on the entry of women in the mosques. Okay, so that is the relevant questions which are there, which will be decided once court decide on the essential religious practice test. Okay, coming to the next one, hijab ban. In 2023, you must have talked about this particular split verdict which was there, and you can say Supreme Court has delivered this split verdict against the High Court of Karnataka. Okay, so here you can say Karnataka government's order. So Karnataka government's order restricting the female students from wearing a headscarf in the educational institution. So Karnataka government has said that hijab has been banned. Okay, but then Supreme Court has said that this is a matter of choice and personal liberty. Second thing is, it is not an essential religious practice. Okay, now so this is where you will be seeing that this is a split verdict, wherein first you are saying that it is a matter of choice. Okay, so if you want to wear it, fine, if you don't, it's okay, but then they have said that it is not an essential religious practice. Okay, so if it is not an essential religious practice, then whether state can interfere here or not. Okay, so that is what has been said in the split verdict in the hijab ban. Now they will be deciding on the what is essential religious practice or not in this particular judgment. Okay, now the case will now be heard afresh by the 3-judge bench. So this particular case will again be heard by the 3-judge bench. Okay, now moving further, with respect to the state, individual and society, till now we have talked about the religion, now state, individual and society. So Citizenship Act, so we will not be going into the details of this particular you can say act, because we already know, and it is an old act which is there in 2019. It was enacted in 2019, but one important thing is that there were 6 communities which has been given some kind of relaxation with respect to the citizenship related laws. Okay, so here you can see section 6B of the Citizenship Act 1955 seeks to grant citizenship to the class of migrants belonging to Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist, Jain, Parsi and Christian. These are the 6 communities which are coming from the states like Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh. Now these are Muslim majority states. It was assumed that there are various these particular states which are having Muslim majority, they are going for some kind of you can say atrocities on the these populations which are there in minorities like Hindu, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jain, Parsis and Christians. So they have said that who has entered India before 31st December 2014, they will be given the citizenship. Now Muslims has been excluded over here, so it has been challenged on the ground that it is against the, you can say, right to equality which is enshrined in the Article 14. Okay. Other than that, also we have talked about the Supreme Court, the validity of the Assam Accord, etc. So with respect to the citizenship, these two you can say things are important. Now coming to the marital rape. With respect to the criminal law, there was this split verdict which was there, and wherein it was said that the criminal laws, when we are talking about rape, etc., there are various conditions which are there, wherein mostly they are saying that if there is a unconsensual sex, that will be considered as rape. But there is one thing which has not been covered, that if there is a non-consensual sex with wife, and this wife is more than 18 years old. Okay, if she is less than 18 years old, in that case it is a rape. Okay, but if she is more than 18 years of age and you are going for the unconsensual sex, then it will not be considered as rape as per the laws which are there in India. Okay, so what Supreme Court has said over here in what High Court has said over here is that in 2022, Delhi High Court delivered a split verdict on the legality of the marital rape exception in the criminal law, section 63 clause 2 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and the section 375 of the Indian Penal Code defines rape and lists some of the notions of the consent which, if violated, will be constituted as rape by a man. Now, sexual intercourse or the sexual act by a man with his own wife is not being under 18 years of the age, that is not rape. Okay, so that has been said by the Delhi High Court in 2022. Now this matter will be, it is not yet decided fully, because still when we are talking about the various petitions are still pending, so we'll be waiting for that. So this will also be considered as something which we'll be keeping a tap on in the future, because the court might decide on that. Okay, now here you can say that it is giving legal sanction to a husband to exercise his right to consensual or non-consensual sex with the wife. So as of now, when we are talking about the consensual or the non-consensual sex that with your wife, which is a major, or you can say who has actually attained the age of majority, that will not be considered as rape. Okay, so that is there. Now coming to the next one, review of the power of ED. So here with respect to the arrest related powers, court has actually looked into it and they have somehow curtailed it. Okay, so you can go through this particular article over here. So somehow when we are talking about the twin conditions which are there with respect to the arrest, etc. So here when we are talking about the ED and the questions with respect to the money laundering related act, so here court has some kind of put or you can say there is the the provision of the bail has been relaxed in this matter. Okay, so here you can say granting the bail to the former Chief Minister of Delhi, that is Arvind Kejriwal, in the money laundering case. Question on the enforcement director's vast power to arrest. Okay, a key issue is that on when an arrest is legally necessitate to the larger bench. Now this question has been sent to the larger bench and court will be deciding on this matter further. Okay, earlier when we are talking about the Vijay Madan Lal Chaudhary versus Union of India case, in which Supreme Court has upheld the validity of all the powers of the ED with respect to a setback to the central agency. Now when we are talking about this particular case, in that case Supreme Court has said that ED has all such powers, but bail has been granted over here. In considering that, this is kind of considered as a setback, and there will be another batch will be deciding on the issue over here. Okay, so in the future we'll be hearing about this as well. Now there are some of the laws which are there which can be questioned in the various petitions. Okay, one is your criminal laws. You know that we had three CRPC, IPC and Evidence Act that has been actually replaced with the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023, which has replaced the Indian Penal Code, and Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita 2023, this has actually replaced CRPC, and then Bharatiya Sakshi Adhiniyam that has replaced the Indian Evidence Act. Okay, now there are some of the progressive element which has been introduced over here, like community surveys and the summary procedure or the summary trials which has been introduced for the petty offences, etc. Okay, so and you can say evidence taking through the video conferences or the live streaming, all these things are basically discussed challenged in this particular acts. Okay, but the thing is, there are some of the provisions which can be challenged with respect to the sedition. Earlier, you know that there was this term which was Rajdroh. Now that has been replaced with the Deshdroh. Now this particular, when we are talking about the new laws, they are not specifically, or you can say word by word, they are not talking about sedition. Okay, but the thing is, the substance has been still there in the you can say new laws as well. Okay, so here you can see the Deshdroh. Other than that, there are some of the provisions with respect to the power of a police officer, allowing a police officer 14 days for preliminary investigation. Before FIR, they can go for a 14 days of investigation. So that is one thing. Other than that, some of the section has been you can say repealed, that 377, which was talking about the rights of the LGBTQ and the homosexuality, etc., that has been totally scrapped. Okay, so considering that, you can see that some of the provisions are there which can be questioned in the law, and Supreme Court will be decided on that as well. Now coming to the next one here, Uniform Civil Code. In Rajya Sabha, our Home Minister has said that in the few coming years, all the states which are having BJP governments, they will be going for the Uniform Civil Code related aspects. As you can say, in Uttarakhand, they have gone for it, and from the January 2025, that will be there. Now in that UCC, there is provision that if you are there in the living relations, then you have to register yourself. Okay, if you are not registering within 6 months, then there will be you can say some kind of procedure will be there against you. So such things are there. Okay, if you are not getting this certificate of relationship within 6 months, then there will be some consequences which can be there. Jail term can be there up to 6 months. Okay, other than that, also here you can see there was this one aspect that if you are living in a live-in relationship with your partner and then you have deserted your partner, in that case you have to provide for the maintenance as well. So some of these things has been introduced in the UK or Uttarakhand's UCC, but the thing is whether these are encroaching upon the personal liberty or not, because living with someone, or the can say the idea of live-in relations are basically a personal choice. Now if someone is living with someone or not, why state has to have some kind of surveillance on that? Okay, so the question of personal liberty arises over here. Other than that, the state has come up with this provision with respect to the safety element. Okay, but again, these questions can be asked in the court of law, so that is another thing which court might decide in the future. Then important new legislation, we have already talked about this. Herein we will be seeing the one nation one election. You know that there has been a bill which has been introduced in the winter session. Okay, so we will be seeing that if they are coming up with this particular bill, then whether it is challenged in the court of law or not, that is one thing. Second thing is the sub classification of the scheduled caste quota. Supreme Court has allowed that it is not a homogeneous class. When we are talking about the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, this is not a homogeneous you can say grouping, so they can go for the sub classification, as sub classification is there in OBC reservation as well. So in the future you might see some aspect related to that as well. So this is the discussion on the key aspect of the questions which are related to the religion, society and law. Okay, so these are the social issues which are there. You have to prepare answers accordingly. You have to make sure that on these topics at least you have some answers which are prepared. Okay, now coming to the next one. Supreme Court red line for ED can't copy, accesses the content from the laptop, mobile phones. Okay, now as I told you, the right to privacy, Supreme Court has again here reinforced that there is a right to privacy. They have said that the ED cannot copy or access the content from the laptop, mobile phones, etc. Now ED has gone for you can say arrest of a person, okay, wherein they have taken laptops, mobile phones, etc. Now without a warrant, ED cannot go and take the content of that or access the content of that. Okay, this is against the right to privacy. Now that is been discussed over here. Okay, so here a significant order that could prompt a rethink by probing agencies before they seek to confiscate the mobile phones, laptops of the citizen for alleged crimes. Supreme Court has restrained the ED from accessing and copying the content from the electronic devices seized during the searches. Okay, so that has been called said by the Supreme Court. Now what is the basis of this particular you can say observation by the Supreme Court? That is the right to privacy, which is there over here. You can say the court has restrained the Enforcement Directorate from accessing or copying the electronic content from the devices seized during the searching. Fundamental right to privacy which is there. Petitioner argued that the you can say accessing personal digital devices infringing upon the fundamental right to privacy. Legal arguments, if we are talking about, the first is that it is against the constitutional mandate, that is protecting the fundamental rights. The protection of the constitutional and the fundamental rights, particularly by the right to privacy. Seized device contain the sensitive personal information, okay, that can be related to the finances, that can be related to the medical reports, password, or the personal photos, videos, etc. Okay, so that is why you cannot, access them without a warrant. Now this is one thing. Right to privacy judgment, when we are talking about KS Puttaswamy judgment, which was there in 2017, so that is one of the important judgment which is there. Okay, the Supreme Court ruled that the right to privacy is intrinsic to the right to life and the personal liberty that is given in Article 21, okay, and is inherently protected under the Article 21 as part of the fundamental rights guaranteed by the Part 3 of the Constitution. By marking or the making the right to privacy an intrinsic part of life and liberty, Article 21, it is not just not just for the Indian citizens. Now anyone can move to the court under Article 32 and 226. When we are talking about the Article 32 and 226, these are basically you can say remedies which are given. Okay, when we are talking about the Article 32, this is the remedies which are there if your fundamental rights are being violated, and similar actions can be taken to the high courts as well in under Article 226. Okay, by declaring that the privacy is inherent to the every fundamental liberty provided in Part 3 of the Constitution, the Supreme Court has made privacy an essential ingredient of the other important fundamental freedoms. Okay, so here what is important for your exams point of view is that we are talking about two things. One is KS Puttaswamy judgment of 2017, and second is right to privacy is a fundamental right under Article 21. Okay, so if they are asking you in the examination, so that will be the Article 21. Okay, now coming to the next one, that is 100 years after the event presided by the Mahatma Gandhi, why Congress is going all out for the Belagavi session. Okay, Belgaum session or the Belagavi session, which was there in 1924. Okay, so 100 years has been there. Now we will not be looking into the why Congress is going for such session now. What we will be looking into at that, what is the significance of, you can say, 1924 Congress session. Okay, so here you can see Gandhi's contribution to the Belgaum session. There is only one session of the Indian National Congress which has been presided by Mahatma Gandhi. Okay, so that is the Belgaum session. Okay, so here you can see the non-violence and Swaraj. Gandhi emphasized the principle of non-violence, communal harmony, and the self-rule in this particular session. Again, then united efforts which has been taken over here addressed the growing divide between the Hindus and Muslims. Okay, in 1924, you know that there was already Congress which has been divided with respect to the, in when we are talking about the 1906. There was a Muslim League which has been established. Okay, so we can say that there was a divide between Hindus and Muslims which was there, and then that is Muslims were under the Muslim League and Hindus were there in Congress. Even there are very many members which are there in the many Muslim members which are there in the Indian National Congress, but there was a divide which was there. Okay, so that was addressed in this particular, or you can say Mahatma Gandhi has given a call for unity among the Hindus and Muslims, advocated for the removal of the untouchability, stating it was a major hindrance to the Swaraj. Then coming to the next one, message of Satyagraha. Gandhi called for people to practice perfect Satyagraha, promoting self-discipline and the adherence to the truth. Now this is the contribution of Gandhi. Now what is the significance, okay, of this particular event? So Congress commemorates 100 years of the Mahatma Gandhi presiding over the Belgaum session as the party president in 1924. Event details: special session of the Congress Working Committee and rally in Belagavi, former Belgaum in Karnataka, will be there from the 26th to 27th December. Okay. Now historical significance, if we talk about, this is a unique session because 1924 Belgaum session was the only Congress session which was presided by Mahatma Gandhi. From your modern India's point of view, this particular fact will be important. Now Gandhi's leadership, Gandhi served as the Congress president between 1924 and April 1925. Okay, so that is about the you can say significance of this particular session with respect to the presidency of Mahatma Gandhi during the Belgaum session in 1924. Now impact on the freedom movements, if we talk about, so promoted the peasant consciousness and spread of khadi, increased the participation of the peasant in the Congress led initiatives. Now relevance of the 1924 session for today's point of view or the today's Congress. So here you can see party's resurgence. The session reflects the Congress effort to emulate the revival seen in the 1924. Now at the time of after the non-cooperation movement which was ended, okay, then the party was revived through this particular session, okay, and that is the exact reason why Mahatma Gandhi was made a president, because people were kind of having this you can say attitude toward the Mahatma Gandhi, that they would follow Mahatma Gandhi. Whatever Gandhi said was actually having some kind of substance in that, and that is why people used to follow him, okay. And strategic plans focus on the short and the medium term action plans, introspection and the reformation to regain the mass appeal. Because if we are talking about the Congress right now, so Congress right now is trying to revive the party again, okay. So that is what that is how it is relevant for the Congress now. Coming to the next one, hospitals can't deny free treatment to sexual assault, said the Supreme Court. Now when we are talking about the victims of the sexual assault or the acid attacks, etc., so Supreme Court has High Court has reiterated that your hospitals cannot deny to treat such patients, okay. Most of the time you will be seeing that if there is some such kind of case, the hospitals or the doctors will be saying that first we have to inform the police, until unless we will not go for the treatment. Now here the High Court has said that you will not go for such things, you will have to provide the treatment, and this is your responsibility that you inform the police, okay. So now here you can say, if the police find that any medical professional, paramedical professional, medical establishment, whether public or private, refuse to provide necessary medical treatment to such victims or the survivor, then a complaint shall immediately be registered under section 200 of the BNS, that is earlier that was there in the section 166B of the IPC, as the same is punishable offense, okay. So now if someone is denying this particular treatment to a victim of the sexual assault or acid attack, etc., then there can be a complaint which can be filed under section 200 of BNS. Now this is the only observation which has been taken from this, okay, nothing else is important, this particular part is important for you, okay. Now moving further to the next one, economy on recovery path, Q3 driven by the strong festivities, rural demands, etc. Now we have seen that last time we have recorded, in the last quarter we have recorded a growth of 5.4%. Now we are saying that in the next quarter we will be moving more than 6% growth, okay. So why is that we are so optimistic about the growth in the next quarter? When we are talking about the next quarter, that is basically will be the third quarter, okay. So here you can see strong festivities and the continued improved and the rural demand. Now why rural demand is increasing? Now when we are talking about the rural demand, mostly there is agriculture, okay. So in this quarter you will be seeing that there will be harvesting, and because of which there will be some kind of money in the hands of the rural households, okay. And because of which, when we are talking about the rural households, if they are having money in the hand, they will be going for the, you can say, consumption, and that is why the rural demand will increase. That is one thing. Second is the festivities, okay. So that is another thing, and we will be seeing in the next few days, you will be seeing that there will be another season of marriage, and that is why again there will be the surge in the demand, okay. So that is one thing. Now here you can say the last quarter we have seen that there was the growth rate, that is 5.4% in the July to September. Now projected economy to grow at 6.8% in the October to December, okay. So from 5.4% to 6.8% we are projecting, okay. Now by taking this particular article, what I mean is to what I meant to deliver is that I want to tell you that how these economic fluctuations are there, what are the factors which are basically you can say impacting the economy. So that these are the two. Third, you can see that when we are talking about the e-way bills, okay, these are some of the indicators which government looks for. So if you are saying that in the GST regime, if we are having this e-way bills, now if there is a surge in the e-way bills, okay, that means that you can say the trade has increased. If trade has increased, that means that economy was doing good. Other than that, another factor is toll collection. Toll collection with respect to the transportation of such, you can say, items which are traded, okay. If there is a you can say increase in the toll collection, we can say that you can say the goods has been delivered from one place to another, okay. Other than that, you will be seeing that there is this when we are talking about the vehicles, okay. So if there is an increase in the sale of vehicles, that is also one of the factor, okay. Coming to the next one, registration of the non-transport vehicles, which is their country's fuel consumption surged, okay. If your fuel is increasing, that means that energy demand is high, that means that there was some kind of consumption which was there, okay. when we are talking about this particular thing with respect to the farm harvesting, which we have already discussed over here, because of which rural demand will be good. Okay, then other than that, you will be seeing that the sustainable government spending on the infrastructure. Government is spending on the infrastructure. That means that government is infusing money in the infrastructure, and infrastructure is improving. That means that ultimately it will be helping the economy. Okay, other than that, also positive climate actions with respect to the focus on the renewable energy, clean energy, etc. So that will also give a positive impact, and more e-vehicles are being promoted, so that is also indication that economy will be doing good. Okay, so these are some of the factors which are discussed over here. Now moving further, at river link project site, PM hails Ambedkar's role in the waterworks. So we will be not going into the political aspect of here. So what is important is that the PM Modi has actually laid the foundation of Ken Betwa river linking project. Okay, now when we are talking about the river linking, the main idea is that the area which are having water surplus will be linked with the areas of water deficit. Okay, now if there is a river which is having water surplus water, that will be linked with an area through a canal, okay, where water deficit is there. Okay, now when we are talking about the Ken river is having water surplus. Okay, then we have Betwa river. Now Betwa river has water deficit, so there will be a Ken Betwa river linking project. There will be a Ken Betwa river linking canal which will be there, and through which these two areas will be connected, and surplus water of the Ken river will be diverted into Betwa river, so that the areas around the Betwa river can go for the irrigation or other water demands can be fulfilled. Okay, so let's see over here on the map. Now this particular river over here, this is your Betwa river. Okay, now here one river is there, that is your Ken river. Now Ken Betwa, there is a link canal which is there. Now this is your you can say canal through which these water will be flowing from the surplus Ken to Betwa. So from Ken to Betwa water will be sent. Okay, so that is the Ken Betwa project. Now it is there in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, it is there in the Madhya Pradesh, but the areas which will have some kind of you can say influence of this particular project, you will be seeing that is Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Okay, now when we are talking about these two rivers, that is Ken and Betwa, these are tributaries of Yamuna river, okay, which is in turn a tributary of Ganga river, so which you can remember. Other than that, one more important aspect which is mostly discussed with respect to the Ken Betwa river, that is Panna Tiger Reserve or the protected areas. Now through this particular area, Ken river is passing. Now if you are going for the any kind of project on the Ken river, that will impact the Panna Tiger Reserve. Okay, so the environmentalist has raised concern with respect to Panna Tiger Reserve as well. Okay, so this is the project Ken Betwa river water linking. Now coming to the next one, Rotterdam's Christmas gift for Darjeeling, two red pandas. Now two red pandas has been gifted by Netherlands government to India, because of which the genetic pool of pandas which are there in India which will improve, and these pandas will be kept in Darjeeling. There is this place that is Padmaja Naidu Himalayan Zoological Park, that is there in Darjeeling, where they will be kept. Since they are coming from the foreign country, they will be there for a quarantine of 1 month, and then they will be introduced in the wild. Okay, so that is there here. This is the location that when we are talking about the West Bengal, we have Darjeeling over here. Okay, in the vicinity of Sikkim. Okay, so Darjeeling is there in West Bengal. You must have heard about the Siliguri and all. So in the vicinity of Siliguri, there is the some of distance which is there. Okay, so that is the location of your Padmaja Naidu Zoological Park, which is there in Darjeeling. Okay, so this is about this particular element. You have to remember the location of this particular park. Okay, and red pandas, if we are talking about, they are found in the northeastern region of India. Okay, so that is about it. Moving further, US FDA clears use of weight loss drug for sleep apnea. Okay, when we are talking about the sleep apnea, this is a condition wherein you will be feeling breathlessness. Okay, so why is that this particular drug which is given over here, that is the tirzepatide. Okay, so tirzepatide is a drug which is generally used for the weight loss. Okay, now they are saying that this particular drug can be used in the obstructive sleep apnea. Okay, obstructive sleep apnea. So when we are talking about this particular disease, in which this particular drug, which is generally used for weight loss, can be used. Now we will be seeing why. Okay, so now if you look at this particular condition over here, now when you are sleeping, there is this way. Okay, you can say the windpipe, etc., which is there. So air can be, going through this particular region, with ease when you are having a normal, you can say, system. Airway is open and air moves through this particular area. That is your normal airway. Now when we are talking about the condition that is obstructive sleep apnea, okay, so that is OSA. Now in this particular situation, what happens is that this particular airways are getting blocked over here. Okay, so now whatever air is coming through this particular area cannot go beyond this. Okay, because of which you will be feeling shortness of breath, etc. You cannot breathe properly in the night. Now why is this condition is happening? Why is that? Because of the excess kind of fat which is deposited over your neck area. Okay, now when there is excess fat which is deposited over the neck area, because of which this area get blocked and then the air cannot go inside. Okay, so that is the condition. Now what are the symptoms over here? Snoring. If you have the less degree of it, you will be going for the snoring. Then choking, which can be experienced in the sleep, feeling tired throughout the day because you did not sleep well. Okay, having poor memory or being forgetful because of the lack of sleep, etc. And when you are sleeping, the air when goes inside, that is basically carrying the oxygen. Okay, because of the lack of the oxygen which is reaching to the vital parts of the body, that can be experienced. Experiencing multiple nighttime bathroom trips. Obviously if you are not able to sleep, then one of the, you can say, symptom that can be there. Having headache in the morning because you did not sleep well. So these are some of the symptoms which are there of OSA. Now they are saying that this particular drug which was used in the you can say weight loss, that can be, you can say, used in the OSA as well, because we are talking about the all these symptoms of the disease because of the excessive accumulation of the fat around the neck area. Now if we are using a weight loss or a drug which is used for the weight loss, so this fat can be, you can say, eliminated, and if this fat is eliminated, then your windpipe or the airways again will be normal. Okay, so that is why you can say that that can be done. Okay, the name of the drug you can use, that is tirzepatide, which is there, and this tirzepatide basically can be used for the weight loss. That can be asked in the examination as well. Okay, so this is about it. Other than that, you can remember the term that is obstructive sleep apnea. Okay, so that can be asked in the examination as well. Now let's move further to the next one, that is Pakistani air strike in Afghanistan kills 46 people, says Taliban. Okay, so now it is simple that Pakistan has gone for some kind of strike in Afghanistan area which is under the Taliban's rule. Okay, now why is that? Because Pakistan thinks that there is this you can say group which is there, okay, that is TTP. Okay, now we will be talking about the TTP, Afghanistan and the Pakistan relation, but as of now Pakistan has targeted this particular group which Pakistan considers as the militant or the insurgents. Okay, so they have targeted this particular group and they are there in the eastern Afghanistan. So if you look at this particular map, you will be seeing that this is the border. You can tell me in the comment box that what this particular border is called. Okay, when we are talking about McMahon line which we have. Okay, similarly this border also has a name. You can tell me in the comment box. So anyways, here you can see this particular province, that is Pak Tika province, which is there in Afghanistan. Okay, so eastern province of Afghanistan which is there, and in this particular area they have gone for the airstrike. Now this is on the border with Pakistan. Okay, now attack happened on 25th of December. Pakistan's airstrike in eastern Afghanistan. Location is Pak Tika province of the you can say Afghanistan, which is bordering Pakistan. Again, this particular province is there in Afghanistan and bordering Pakistan. Okay, coming to the factor over here, historical context, if we are talking about, the attack accelerated the tension between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Pakistan accuses Afghanistan of harboring a group that is TTP, that is Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan. Okay, now these are considered as militant in Pakistan, and they are saying that Afghanistan is basically harboring them because it is a group which is basically, you can say, having some kind of affiliation with the Afghan Taliban. Afghan Taliban, which is there in power. Okay, after USA left Afghanistan, Afghan Taliban has been there in power, and this group, that is Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, is basically affiliated with this Afghan Taliban, and that is why Pakistan is accusing that you are harboring them, you are giving support to them. Okay, Taliban denies allowing Afghan soil to be used for the attack on Pakistan. They have said that we are not harboring such militants, okay, and we are not supporting them. Other than that, here you can see that the TTP is affiliated with the Afghan Taliban, which took power in August 2021 after USA has left in Afghanistan. Then Pakistan has faced numerous militant attacks since the Taliban's rise. Okay, so this is the historical context. So when we are talking about Afghanistan, there is Taliban which is in power. Now there is this another group, that is Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, which is working against Pakistan, and they are located some of the areas of the eastern eastern Afghanistan, which has been used by these militants to target Pakistan. Okay, so that is about it. Now we can move further. For your own read, there are two articles: 300 years after the Christ, how Christmas came to be celebrated on December 25. So this is some kind of cultural aspects which are there. If you are interested, you can go through it. Other than that, there is this article, how to put PDS items, free social transfers, in the new retail inflation index. Okay, so with respect to the inflation index and the PDS items, etc., there is this article. If you are interested, you can go through this article. Okay, now for your practice, there is this question, that which was the only Congress session presided by the Mahatma Gandhi: Belgaum, Lahore, Tripuri and Nagpur. Okay, so you can attempt this question and answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave, and someone has answered, Ganesh has answered that this is the Durand line. He is right. When we are talking about the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan, the line is known as the Durand line. Okay, anyways, so you can attempt this question and answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a good day. Thank you, and please subscribe the channel.